Hi, I'm Benny Manatee, and this is a new video that I'm making today. This is the third time I'm trying to record this. Once I managed to get it corrupted, and another time I managed to delete it somehow. Oh well, anyways, so this video will be about a certain piece of news. I am gonna make it faster this time. I managed to make it ridiculously long, and I don't want to do that. So this is about the Council of Elysium. This video will be about this specific letter written in the latest news about the Council of Elysium, which will take place today in about 4 hours. I've been trying to record this video for 5, and I think this might be the final time that I'm doing it. If it does not work, it does not work. If you see it, you see it. I'm sorry about the stream setup. This is how I managed to do this. So, without any further ado, let's get into the letter. Let me read it out loud, and then let's get down to the nitty-gritty details that I want to talk about. Your most sagacious master, Hell Ethics. The requested summoning liturgy has almost been completed. Whilst we cannot reach the living land of the humans, we of the denomination of the masked god are still capable to stir the lands and its living core to fulfill Lord Arkaham's need for utter despair and separation amongst the common man. Whilst we cannot recreate the large-scale eruption that was the Dark Convergence, we are keen on the turmoil that the Obsidian Rupture is able to generate. The Ebony Compass will allow the Obsidian Rupture to proliferate its influence at -2971 west and -1558 north. Sadly, we are unable to create pinpoint-accurate demonic predicaments on Syndesia, although this will create sufficient unrest while we work on your most outstanding project. Master Hell Ethics, the Obsidian Rupture is an experiment you will not want to miss. Our eternal allegiance, Carl Ajah. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Benny Manatee, as I said earlier. I am a Twitch streamer. I stream over at twitch.tv/FuyuManatee, that is F-U-Y-U Manatee. I tend to stream about this specific game, Fractured Online, that this letter or this news article is from. Now, this letter talks about an event that will happen later on today at 9 p.m.-ish, probably a bit later at those certain coordinates that were given in the letter. Thing is, we don't really know much about what this event is. All we know is written down in this letter. We had some flavor text for it that some unlucky adventurers discovered it, and that's all we know about it, really. We also know that this Council of Elysium, which is a monthly event held by the community managers at Gamigo Games. This time it will be held by Arkaham, who's a good friend of mine, and Nilpu, who I know nothing about, other than the fact that his name, or their name, is just uplink spelled backwards. So this stream will be an Ask Me Anything and a gameplay video streaming the event that is described, and is called the Obsidian Rupture. So, let's deep dive into the letter, because I think there's quite a bit of lore to be discussed within it. So, your most sagacious Master Hell Ethics. Master Hell Ethics, we don't know anything about this person. We don't even know their gender. We don't know anything about it. Same with Carl Ajah, the writer of this letter. Master sort of says that they are a higher rank within this certain order, which is referred to as the denomination of the masked god. Well, at least it is assumed by yours truly that he is part of the order. Otherwise, why would he need to know about it? So, Hell is the name of two things, spelled differently. Hell with two L's. Obviously it is the underworld within Christian mythology. And Hell spelled with one L, which is why I kind of am tending towards Hell Ethics being a female, is because it is the name of the goddess of the underworld, sort of. Something along those lines, with the netherworld, let's call it, in Nordic mythology. Now, ethics, while I do not know any words like that, I do know that Pontifex kind of sounds similar, and I think it is like an unconscious connection between the two. I talked to Arkham, who wrote this letter about the names, and he said that he just came off with them. So, and that could say anything about it. But either way, to me, the name Master Hell Ethics sounds like a high priest, sort of, or at least a really influential person within this order. And I'm also assuming, because of the last line in the letter, that this person is actually some sort of scientist or scholar, something along those lines. So, next up, the requested summoning liturgy has almost been completed. So, a liturgy is a very Christian-esque sort of ritual, usually conducted, well, not necessarily Christian-esque, but let's call it Abrahamic thing, where it is, it is one of the words for a Christian mess, for example. So I'm thinking about a ritual with a bunch of priests and a lot of grimoires or something along those lines. And summoning, probably we're talking about a huge summoning of monsters, or, as it says in the next sentence, the next bit, whilst we cannot reach the living land of the humans. So based on that bit, I'm assuming that they are undead, or are in a sort of hell, sort of netherworld sort of area. I looked into the demon options based on Arkham being the demon overlord. It's questionable, to say the least. Demons are not quite undead in this world. They are very much considered living. So that is an issue. But at the same time, I'm imagining, based on Arkham's personal preferences with mobs, that these will be primarily undead today. So, the denomination of the Masked God. Masked God, denomination is just a group. And Masked God, that's a questionable bit. I was thinking about Babilis, the god of the demons, but I don't think that there's any references in his lore, or their lore, or whatever gender they were. I don't remember. That refers to being masked. Same with Arkham. But I'm thinking that this masked god might be in the background of the entire Dark Convergence thing. Just a quick description of it. The Dark Convergence took place between the 4th and 6th of February. Technically it took place on the 6th, but we had some stuff happening before that in the previous 2 days. So from the 4th to the 6th, there was a alpha weekend, an open alpha weekend. I was part of it. I was actually in the core of the people, not necessarily organizing the event, but helping the organizers organize the event. With a group of my other content creator streamer friends. Their links will be in the description, obviously, if you want to check them out. Namely, it was Dreadmodex, Banner Gaming, both of them, Banner and Mick, as well as my friend David, also known as Yasuke, or Ultimate Yasuke, and Dreads, and our friend Sarah, who's a content creator now, but he wasn't back then. So, that was our little group heading for everything and helping out the community managers, Arkham and Lunoshi. So, Dark Convergence was... I'm making a video on it, so stay tuned for that. Or you can head over to my Twitch and watch the highlight. I think it's highlighted. The entire Dark Convergence final event, if you want to see it. Lord Arkham's need for utter despair and separation amongst the common man. That's the bit that made me want to make this video. Despair, understandable for a demon lord. We're talking, the common demon lord trope of like a Daimo Arkahimu or something shit like that. So despair, understandable, but the separation kind of made me question this entire thing. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about, but I'm assuming we're talking among the lines of of an unrest sort of time, or an uprising maybe, which is actually, well, the unrest bit is sort of solidified in this letter as well later on. So, whilst we cannot recreate the large-scale eruption that was the Dark Convergence, as I talked about the Dark Convergence, it was a high-scale event. It was technically just a stress test for the alpha, but it turned into a really nice story bit, and I really like it. It was really cool. The lore behind it is awesome at this point, and I, along with a bunch of others, am working on the lore behind it to solidify it in the upcoming story of the game. So, that was really large scale. So, like, we had thousands of players with hundreds of mobs, as well as some legends, which are the bosses in this game, at the same spot. It was surprising. Like, I'm surprised I could stream it with my garbage internet connection. But yes, the Obsidian Rupture will be smaller scale than that, and I don't mind that. I think it's also like sort of server and gameplay limitations that we have to pay attention to. The game is very much still in beta, and we don't really want to kill the servers on an event. So yeah, the Ebony Compass will allow the Obsidian Rupture to proliferate its influence. I looked at the location in game, so right there you can see a little bit of a clip of me checking out the area. There's nothing there. It's kind of garbage. The only things of note that I found was it's right next to a city. It's pretty close to the undead forest, and it's also like really, really close to the area that the Dark Convergence took place at, which is circled in on the footage on the map, or in an image, or something along those lines. The Ebony Compass. Big question. I looked into it. The compass, I can only think of either the one on the map or the minimap, that sort of compass. And the Ebony bit is quite more of a questionable thing. So Ebony is a type of wood that's kind of luxurious, and in most fantasy games it is quite magical as well, unless you're in the Elder Scrolls, because then it's suddenly an ore and quite possibly the blood of gods. But that aside, in this game there's only one mention of it, and that's also outside of game, which is the Silver Founder Chest's flavor text, and you can see that here. As well, or like up there somewhere, down there maybe, and you can read it if you want to. I won't read it out loud. Essentially, I started to theorize based on it, because it is made of silver and ebony, and silver is usually like something that you'd use against the undead, and is also quite magical in most fantasy settings. So silver in the game is actually like energy damage based native properties is what it gives to items. So based on that, we can assume that ebony might be magical as well in the game. So, well, and obviously you need to use it in this certain ritual, or to start the ritual. Technically, it never said that you have to use it in the ritual. But based on that flavor text, I can assume that it might be like the it's kind of complicated. I don't really want to get into it too deep, but based on that flavor text, there might be some indications that ebony is magical in this game as well. Now, on to the next bit. Although this will create sufficient unrest while we work on your most outstanding project, that has two really important things in there. One, unrest. As I said earlier, there's this reference in the text to a sort of unrest phase in Syndesia's story, coming at this event. I don't know what that will entail. I was thinking about with the separation that it might have something to do with the races coming into the game, but at the same time there's no indication that it should be true, because lore-wise they already exist. But well, it's confusing at this point. And the next bit is the outstanding project. So like, that kind of says to me that there's going to be a sequel to this. that this is not the last bit of the event, and that there's more to come, at least one more, which is the most outstanding project, but there might be some more stuff to come as well that is similar to this event and the Dark Convergence. Probably something along the lines of Damp Madness or something like that. I don't know, that's the name of the next event. For fuck's sake! Master Hell Ethics, the Obsidian Rupture is an experiment you will not want to miss. That's kind of telling me that this Master Hell Ethics might be a scholar. At least some level of a scholarly person, because this is an experiment and they wouldn't want to miss it. So yeah, I'm interested in what's going to happen. And then the last thing, Carl Ejah, I have no clue again. The only thing that I thought of is that the name kind of sounds Star Wars-esque, and that's it really. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I know it's really last minute, and I hope this time it will work, because if it won't, then I fucking commit. And thank you for watching it. If you liked it, please do leave a like. Also, if you feel like it, subscribe to this channel. And, well, if you want to see semi-regular content streams coming out, then you can head over to twitch.tv/FuHumanity, that's FUYHumanity. And also don't forget to tune in to this stream, the Council of Elysium, at twitch.tv/GamigoGames. So, yeah, I'll be streaming as well, the event, along with my friend Dread. As far as I could tell, he's streaming already. So I'll probably tune in a few hours to him. And yeah, we'll see how the event works out, and yeah, you can check it out on my Twitch. Which kind of brings me to one more thing, and that is that I just became an affiliate on Twitch. So if you'd like to come over and support me, you know what sort of things you can do at Twitch. So yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and see you later.